This is One Fat Boy. I'll be going over betting spreads and over-unders. Spreads and over-unders are the most popular way to bet it on most sports, as they're easy to understand and it only pertains to the game as a whole. I will go into my thoughts and theories on how to maximize spreads and over-unders and how I go choosing my bets. What I will go over will apply to any sport. This is a thought process that should go through each bet. First, I will go into over-unders. If you look at a game, the given over-under is going to be around minus 110, as it is viewed as the equilibrium point where the game is going to end up. It is the 50-50 spot. This is where the total points should end up, so the sportsbooks have to pay the least amount of money to the winners. Each point that goes away from the spread adds to the odds. Let's say the over-under for a basketball game is 200. Let's say the final score was a total of 201. This would be optimal for the sportsbook, as they predicted the score of the game within 1 point. Most people will bet the basic over-under in front of them, so the payout is going to be towards the minimum. Let's say the game ended up being a total of 220 points. That is far from the sportsbook. That means the people who bet over 219 got a greater payout than those who bet over 200. The farther from the bell curve the game ends up, and the closer you bet towards that outlier, the greater the payout. You could go the safer route and bet over 180 for that same game. The payout is less, but it's more probable to pay out. Now I will go into spreads. The spreads make the game at hand a 50-50 game. Let's say we have the best team in the league versus the worst team in the league. A vast majority of people will bet on the best team in the league to win, and if the odds for the payout was plus 100 for them to win, it would basically be free money. Adding a spread onto the game now moves it to a true 50-50 game. The best team will still win, but will they win by 15 points? The sportsbook measures out the games and finds where the equilibrium will come out. Let's say the spread is 10 points. It is safe to bet that the favorite is going to win, but can they win by 10 points? This is where changing the spread to your advantage to maximize your earnings comes into play. You can say the underdog will say within 10 points, or I could give the underdog a 15-point spread. The question that will come up is, am I confident that the favorite will win by 5 or the losing team will be within 15? Both are the same odds, but which is more likely? If the favorite wins by 7 and you bet to win by 5, you win your bet, but that means you could have bet plus 10 for the underdog and gotten a bigger payout. Each time you make an adjustment to the spread, add it to the other side of the spread too, so you can see which bet looks more likely. For example, is that minus 5 more appealing than the plus 15? Betting spreads comes down to the confidence in the team that you're betting on. I'll go over my strategies in choosing my spreads and over-unders. So, as always, choose games that you're confident or have knowledge in, then always check to see if they're worth betting in. So I generally will bet safer, so I'll adjust my spreads to the lower end. I will generally read the matchup and choose who I will think will win and how much they'll win by and what the score will be. Then I'll take a look at what the sportsbooks are putting and adjust my bets from there. If my bets are within like 5 points or a few points, I generally will bet on those games, as I have a general feel on how the public is going, or if there's a game that I know a lot about. It's like if it's my favorite team and I know how the game will play out, then I will generally just bet on that game because that's the game that I have knowledge on. And as always, account your risk tolerance for each of your bets, as it can be difficult to choose a winner even after adjusting spreads, so always take into account your risk tolerance, as betting spreads really does come down to the confidence you have on your team that you're betting on.